Okay, another example of solving a differential equation. This one's got a little bit of an application behind it. They tell us in the problem, find the profit function for the given marginal profit function and the initial condition. Okay, so again, it's kind of the same problem as before. You know, we want to find this function p of x. Okay, and we don't know the function, but we do know its derivative. So we start with the idea that if we integrate this derivative, okay. So if we take the integral of the marginal profit function, we'll get pretty close to the profit function. Actually, we'll get the profit function, but we just won't know it completely. Okay, just like in the last problem. So, and again, you know, remember marginal profit. This tells us how fast profit is growing per additional unit we sell of this product. And P of 15 equals 22,725. That's the initial condition. It's telling us that the profit from selling 15 units is $22,725. Okay, so we know how fast profit's growing or decreasing, how it's changing per additional unit. We know the profit from selling 15 units. Can we actually find the profit function, the function that gives us the actual profit from selling any number of units we want to plug in? Okay, well, and we can do that, of course, because this is just solving a differential equation like we did in the last problem. We want to integrate that marginal profit function. Okay, so we start there. Of course, the first rule we would use is this sum rule. We can integrate the first term and then sum plus the integral of the second term. Okay, we can integrate those separately. Okay. Well, here I've got a negative 18 as a constant factor, so I can bring that outside. Okay, notice I can only bring it outside once I've separated the integrals. I have to do that first. Okay. So, yeah, not too bad, I don't think, on this one. Negative 18, and we've got to integrate x to the power 1. Okay, well, that's 1/2 x squared, just using the power rule there. And then the integral of 1650 with respect to x. Well, remember, this is just the integral of a constant. We have a rule that says when you integrate a constant, you get that constant times x. Okay, and then plus c, okay, because we don't know exactly the profit function. We know it looks something like this, but we don't know exactly what constant c is going to make it correct. So here's the result of our first part. I can simplify a little bit here. Negative 18 times 1/2, that's negative 9. So we get negative 9x squared plus 1650x plus c. Okay, so the question is, what does c have to be to give us the profit function we have here? Okay. Well, if you look, again, they tell us something about profit. They say when we sell 15 units, we make $22,725. I got that right. Let's see. Yeah, 22,725. Okay. So that means that if we plug 15 in for x, c is going to have to be a number which allows us to get 22,725 out. Okay, so negative 9 times 15 squared plus 1,650 times 15, okay, plus c. That is p of 15. And c has to be whatever number it takes, so that p of 15 is $22,725. Okay, so now's the time to go on the calculator and get some numbers out for this. Okay. So this is negative 2025 plus 24,750 plus c equals 22,725. Okay, so I could probably do a little bit more of this on the calculator. I just broke it down into some pieces here. So look, we get 22,725. Actually, if I add these together, it turns out it's 22,725 plus c equals 22,725. Okay, so if I subtract that number from both sides, okay, I see that c has to be 0, okay, which is just what it turned out to be in the last problem. But trust me, that's a coincidence. This c could be any number, okay. You know, if they had told us p of 15 was 30,000, okay, c would have had to be like negative 7,000 and something. It can really be any number, and we don't know what number it is unless we have that extra information. Okay, so again, it turns out that if P of 15 has to be 22,725, then this constant has to be 0. Okay, so the profit function can say exactly what it is now. Okay, P of x is negative 9x squared plus 1650x plus 0. Okay, turned out that C was 0. Okay, could have been any other number, but based on the initial condition we got, C had to be exactly 0.